Happy Halloween, everybody. I'm the Trailbox Gamer, and welcome back to Scooby-Doo, Nights of 100 Frights. Last episode, I took a different path that led me back to that one level where we found the springs. That was a little backtracking I did for the extra Scooby snack, so now we're back here and we're gonna go forward. The backtracking segment was kinda pointless, so I just cut back to this location. We didn't miss anything, and funny enough, it actually took out a good few minutes off the final video. Like, I think originally it was like 20 minutes long, and then now it's 17. Estimate. I always say that when I record something, like, I usually say how long I'm recording prior to finish the recording, so it might be off, and I was about to tell you all that I thought that little path was a secret path. It is not a secret path.
Really?
Why did I think it was? I don't know. I have a memory of there being a secret path, but clearly that wasn't it. The secret path to it was death. It kind of makes me wonder. I stepped on it. What triggered it last time? The fish barrel? Is that what triggered it? The fishnet? Huh. That's weirdly specific. I kind of wonder why, but at the same time, I'm not too curious on to dying again, so we're gonna move on. I think it'd be smart to, you know, test it out once we have like the umbrella or something to help me navigate it a little easier. Oh. We're gonna need the plungers to walk up this area. I was about to say, it doesn't look like you need them, but if you look at the floor, it looks a little slick, so I guess that makes sense. I don't know, it doesn't look that steep personally. Like, you know, I feel like we could, if we ran, we could go up it pretty easily, but, you know, game-wise, let's just put that on hold until later. Get out of here, fish creature. If I did a top 10 most hated enemies in this game, that fish creature's #1. Straight up #1. Based on the trauma it gave me when I was a kid. That alone. If I were to pick a #2. Good question. Put the fish creature again at #2. You know what? The whole top 10 list of my most hated enemies, fish creature. Fish lady. Whatever the heck her name is. It creeped me out as a kid. This was the only one. Well, all of them scared me as a kid, but that one petrified me. That one petrified me as a kid. And kept me from playing the game. So, yeah, top 10. That one's all 10. End of list. And also, I need to figure out how many enemies there are in this game before I make any list too. So, we're gonna have to wait until we beat the game so I can write them all down. I don't think we have 100 enemies though. Definitely not 100 enemies. If they ever do a remaster of this game or reboot it, I hope they actually add 100 enemies. I mean, I'm positive Scooby-Doo has faced 100 enemies. Like, you could add unique bosses in some places. It's like I said a few episodes ago, it'd be nice if they incorporated a little bit of all the Scooby-Doo movies, shows into this game. Like, you know, it'd be nice to have a zombie island area. I mean, yeah, you could say that's kind of like the hedge mage, but I'm just saying, you know, a boss fight with a werecat ladies. That'd be a pretty fun fight. How would that work though if we're going with game-wise? Do we have to get them under the moon or something, or make, like, have it be a wait out where you have to wait until the moon hits them and defeat them like that? That could work. I think that could work. I don't remember the exact lore behind the movies on top of my head, but that sounds like a possible boss fight for a game like this. Another villain. Another villain. There's so many on top of my head, I can't really pick, the dude from Cyber Chase. The Phantom Virus, that's his name. I think they have a video game with him, though. I think they did have a video game adaptation of the, you know, movie. But I also heard that it was ridiculously difficult that even the guys that made it, they couldn't beat their own video game. That's impressive. That's kind of impressive. You made the game so hard that even you can't beat it. Would I hope for that to be a part of the game? No. I prefer games to be beatable, especially one that's, you know, Scooby-Doo-like. I don't want a Dark Souls version of Scooby-Doo. Though I guess you could already argue that it technically does exist without one game, so... Yeah. I'd say if they did do that, it'd be nice to have like a Funland themed area. You know, like how in the end of the movie, it was at like that carnival area. That'd be a fun place to explore. Like you could ride rides, you could dodge rides and all that kind of thing. I love it when a game includes like a carnival area. Bonus points if the carnival area lets you ride the rides. Now that, I love it when games let you do that. The boss fight would probably take place in an arcade, you know, like the movie. Have like skeetball machines shooting at you, you have to dodge them. How would you beat them though? Like, will we add new mechanics if they do remake this game from the ground up? Would they add like, you know, boss fights that have specific items to use, like you have to pick them up to use them? Because, you know, in the movie, they need to use like a super magnet to beat them up. Actually, they could still technically use that in this game. If they like added like one of those buttons that you have to slam down to activate like a specific magnet, like you activate 4 and it makes them disappear. That could work. That could work. Let's see, other movies. We could go with The Witch's Ghost. Yeah, we could do that. I could already see that the background music being like something played by the Hex Girls. That'd be awesome. Oh, we could have it like a 2-parter boss fight. We could have, what's the dude's name? Ravencroft. Yeah, Ravencroft. Ben Ravencroft. We could have him like be the one that you have to like hit to depower the witch's ghost, and then you could go after her. And bonus. Oh, whoops. Huh. I missed that jump entirely. Like I was saying, bonus points. You could also get Tim Curry to voice that character too. You have 2 people voiced by Tim Curry in this game. What about those movies where Shaggy and Scooby were mainly alone? I mean, they also had Scrappy-Doo as well, but it wasn't with the full cast. It was like just those 3. Reluctant Werewolf. I guess the bad guy from there will be Dracula. Oh, maybe have it as a fight like on the racetrack, like you have to dodge cars to get to him. That'd be kind of fun. Have his creepy little minions help him during the boss fight too. What were their names? You know, there are those tiny little freaks with the hunchbacks. Hold up, I'm just gonna look them up real quick. I'm just gonna type in Scooby-Doo Hunch and see what pops up. Found them. Hunch Bunch, there we go. That's the names of these 2. Yeah, they'll be like little minions during the boss fight. Like they'll be like riding a helicopter, dropping stuff on you, or at least trying to drop stuff on you. I remember this part terrifying me as a kid. You just see Shaggy in the background shaking his head. Like, did you really need to die for that? Shaggy, you know the answer. I am willing to die for a Scooby snack. Do not make me repeat myself in every other episode. You got a real problem, man. I know I do. I need serious help, but you making claims on it and telling me I have a problem isn't helping, so hush. We got this. And I was so close on actually just completing it. Oh, I hate it when that happens. You know, when you get so close on beating something, but you fail, like, near the end. I mean, yeah, that was more of me collecting stuff, but you get what I mean. Am I gonna need to do... Come on. Jump. There we go. There we go. What was the other movies? There was the Three Stooges movies, but they were ghosts. I need to look this up again. I'm sorry, it's been years since I last seen these movies. Alright, so I looked up all the Scooby-Doo movies in order. Did you know that the first Scooby-Doo movie that they made was called Scooby-Doo Goes Hollywood, that was released in 1979? I remember it was more of Shaggy and Scooby trying to become famous, and just like I don't remember much, but that was the whole gimmick. Like, they were just trying to make a name for themselves in Hollywood. I kind of liked the movie, it was fun, but the second movie was the movie I was referring to, and that was Scooby-Doo Meet the Boo Brothers, which are kind of like the Three Stooges. I'm pretty sure they are definitely based off the Three Stooges. I don't think the bad guy really works here unless they are gonna go with the actual ghost, because movie-wise, the actual villain was the corrupted sheriff, or at least his twin brother, that wanted the treasure for himself. The ghost aspect was Shaggy's, I think, great-grandfather, or no, it was his uncle. It was his great-uncle, I think. And this is where it gets a little complicated, because his great-uncle was a Confederate soldier, so I'm not sure that's gonna really fly with Day. So, yeah, that one might not be made, just with the material that it was based on, just saying. The next one on the list is Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, which I could see the final boss kind of working, like as a potion, like throwing potions at you, having her creepy little green monster dude attack you. Like I could see that like being a boss fight in this, game. Maybe have it in a nice swamp-looking area, or have it like in a ruined castle or something along those lines. Fun fact, I did not watch these movies in that order. I went from Boo Brothers to Reluctant Werewolf, and then to Ghoul School, which, when I watched the movie, I was thinking, there was a Count Dracula in the last movie. Is it the same one? Is there going to be, like, problems? Because, Kid Me figured, oh, hey, it's the same dude for that other movie, and it's not. Especially since they didn't really bring it up in the movie. It's like, huh, you sure your name is Count Dracula? Because, in the last movie I saw with you in it, you were definitely the bad guy, and I missed that completely, like a dork. I mean, as a kid, I thought they were the same person for a while, but when you look at the pictures, they're different. They're different. They just have, like, the same name. I was like, that's a little confusing for Kid Me. Someone having the same name's kind of weird, but, as I got older, I was like, huh. It's still a little weird because of the whole, he's supposed to be the famous Dracula, and yet they're not making any references to the racing fiasco. I mean, Kid Me was very confused, but at the same time, Kid Me just didn't really care too much. He just went along with it and said, whatever. Adult me, now knowing that they weren't the same characters, still a little confused on the fact that they're supposed to be both the same Dracula, but when you go up and look it up on the Wikipedia, it states more than one vampire might take up the name Dracula, which, okay, good explanation. I'll accept it. And also, adult me doesn't really care that much to really focus more onto it. I'll just take the answer and go with it. Now, the next movie is called Scooby-Doo and the Arabian Nights, and I remember this movie, but it kind of lacks a lot of Scooby-Doo and Shaggy in it. See, Scooby and Shaggy are hired to be royal food tasters, but when they go and do their job, they don't taste the food, they ate all the food, which, big no-no, and they were gonna be sentenced to death for it. So, to escape this, they kind of disguise themselves and tell stories until the Emperor dude passes out. The first story was Aladdin, which basically an Aladdin story, only this time the genies were Yogi Bear and Boo Boo. And then the second story was Sinbad, I can never say that name right, with Magilla Gorilla. And that's most of the story. Like, it kind of has Scooby and Shag in it for a bit, but not for the whole part. So that kind of makes me think, does it really count as a Scooby-Doo movie then? I mean, the premise alone does sound interesting enough, but when most of the scenes are not including Scooby or Shag, it's kind of questionable. But a fun fact with that movie is the dude that voiced Mandark was the Emperor's voice actor. And when I heard him, I was like, hey, I recognize you. What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be messing with Dexter or something, simping over Dee Dee or something? Not, trying to kill Scooby and Shaggy? Fun surprise, fun surprise. This was before I was too aware of voice actors, so I just thought, oh, hey, it's Mandark. A weird-looking version of Mandark. The next two on the list, I'm pretty sure I kind of already covered. We had Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island, which I think I mentioned, like, the Werecat boss fight already, so, yeah, we already got that covered. And, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, which we kind of already covered already. The third one, however, third up after this one was Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders. That could be a fun boss fight. We could have like a sci-fi level with that.
Running.
Actually, no, sci-fi would be going for the alien theme, but movie-wise, it wouldn't really be accurate. If anything, the boss fight would probably be taking place in a cave system. Have like little deposits of gold around. That way it references the movies, like plot, you know, antagonist plot, because, you know, the aliens weren't real. A big shocker, I know. Sorry for the spoiler alert. It was just some dudes who wanted gold. I think there were like 3 of them, right? There were 3 of them. Yeah, there were 3 of them. Okay, so for a boss fight, have like this circular cave. I mean, room, you know, circular room. Have them on these like hover bikes so that they spin around. Like you have to, you know, slam down on them to stop them from spinning, and then you have to like knock them into the wall and like either A, have them fall down a chasm, or B, have it that when they, you know, get knocked into the wall, a big rock just like bumps them on the head, eventually defeating them. I should have died. You have to love invincibility frames. They can save you occasionally, but don't rely too much on them. You didn't hit the button. You gotta hit the button. Hit the button. There we go. Perfect. Beautiful. We got this. Now, the next movie that was listed after that was Scooby and the Cyber Chase, and we already covered that. After the Cyber Chase, it's the first live-action Scooby-Doo movie, and my question is, do you really think they'll be able to get the villain to be, you know, implemented in the video game? Because the villain of that was technically Scrappy-Doo. It kind of brings in perspective, like, what version of Scooby... Like I said, I kind of want a Scooby-Doo game where it kind of goes with all variations of Scooby-Doo. But do you think it'd be better if we just stick to the cartoons rather than the movies? I mean, yeah, I went over cartoon movies, but that's the thing. I stick to the cartoon movies. And looking at the time, that's all I have for this video. So thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Take care. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and have a happy and safe Halloween.